Alright gang, welcome back to Adventure Survival here on Szpakowo. It is now June. We are going to be doing the second application of fertilizer on those fields that we drilled in the last couple of episodes. Before we continue on though, I'm going to jump over here and turn on our belt system as we had to do in the past. And there we go. Perfect. There are lots and lots of rocks in there, stones in there, but they will now all be transported over to here, which is going to be good, which will make us more lime and make us more money as we continue on. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are pretty good here, all things considered. Not a ton to do today on this episode, or in this series, if I'm honest with you. It is very much an off month. We can buy a mower, potentially mow up the grass here by the grapes, do our second applications of fertilizer, mow the grass. Other than that, there's not really a lot for us to do. It's a very, what I would call, quiet day. So if you look here at the map, everything's just still in the growing stages right now. We're just kind of waiting, except for, obviously, as I mentioned, the grass field. But everything's just kind of hanging around in that growing stage. So there's not really a ton for us to do today. But I'm sure we'll figure something out. And it's going to take us a while to do the fertilizing here, and then, obviously, the mowing, etc. It's going to take us a little bit of time to do that, but maybe just to be a bit of a shorter episode today. Who knows? How's everyone doing today? Hope you're doing well. Feeling a little bit better, but still am dealing with a little bit of the nasal stuff, so I apologize for that if it comes off on the microphone or not. I don't know if it does, but yep, so we're getting through it, though. We're getting through it, slowly but surely. Ended up getting this whole row in the last episode, in case you missed that. So we do have the whole row now, minus this field here, which we kind of have decided to just ignore that portion. Since we can't, there's a big, massive area in the middle there that cannot, be done. What I mean by be done is if I buy this here, you see that little spot there, no matter what I do, I can't get to that little spot for some reason. So it just doesn't really seem worth buying. It's such a small little plot of land over there. So we're not even going to focus on it. We're just going to say what we did buy, which is this entirety here is kind of accomplishing that goal that we set out to do many episodes ago. Now I probably need to move some bees over. Some bees. I need to move some honey over into our hat production, because I would assume we've got a few pallets there that have spawned, so we need to probably move that over today. Take care of just topping off the water on the goats again. I know we did a little bit of that in the last couple of episodes, but we'll do it again. Top the water off on the greenhouses, etc. Just some more maintenance type of stuff, really. We need to kind of continue that progress. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing today. I don't have anything specific I want to purchase or put down. There may be one other production we end up putting down on this series before we end this series, but as I've mentioned, it is coming to a close very soon, so unless it's something that's really going to make a difference or really add something to it, we probably won't be adding a whole lot else. I know some people will probably be upset with the fact that we're going to be ending the series, but it is time to move on, man. It really is. I loved this series, and we will definitely be doing another vintage survival series in the near future, but we're going to be jumping to another one here. The time this releases, the day this releases, I guess I should say, we should be doing our first recording for the competitive one-tile challenge. I did make a post on that. If you have not checked that out yet, I highly recommend you do, which gives away all the details of the actual series itself. Gives you the map we're playing on, what the rules are, etc. So that is out there on my post section on my channel. So definitely go check that out. I need to go the other way. I don't know where I'm going here. Actually, as a matter of fact, I guess I don't really. We can go up that one path, those little two strips there, and we might as well do it. But yeah, check that post out. It kind of gives you the details of what's happening there. So it is three of us. It's myself, Crust2, and Rusty Money Gaming. We're all taking on this challenge together. we did a preliminary kind of a record. Not, we didn't record anything, but like a preliminary session to make sure that everything was set up properly, everything was working right, properly, get all the logistics sorted out, if you will. Everything seemed, for the most part, to run relatively smoothly, better than I had expected. I've never really actually, done a multiplayer online series in Farming Simulator, so I really didn't know what to expect. And since I'm hosting it, I wanted to make sure everything was working properly. And really, that was Cresty's idea to kind of get together and make sure that was, working as we had expected. And everything seemed to be fine. So we will see. Now, some people were asking. I do know, comment-wise, what's the starting money and all that stuff. You'll find out when the series starts, but in short, the way it works is you do have some starting money. You can do whatever you want with that starting money. It'll all be kind of explained at the beginning, just like we did with the one-tile challenge, right? We had a small amount of money that we started with. I say a small amount. It was a lot. It was like almost $100,000, or around $100,000, I should say. It's a similar type of thing as that. It's going to be set up a little bit differently than that one, right? And that will make sense, too, once we get into the series, hopefully. Hopefully I explain it properly. But, yeah, we do have a little bit of money to play with at the beginning to get started. Now, all of us are kind of starting a different way to an extent. We do have specific items we have to start with, right? We're starting with the same exact tractor, trailer, etc., just like we would in the original one-tile challenge, right? All of that is there, and those rules are there too about not getting rid of them, etc., right? But yeah, everything's in that post, and the details are in there, so go check that out, and you'll see. Now, what I'm trying to do with this series, which, again, may or may not be the smartest thing to do, I'm going to try to keep the progression going here of trying to make things look a little bit better than I have in the past, and what I mean by that is just adding some small things, just small little touches, nothing major, not like it's and this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in the world. Nothing like that. But, just having some fence lines here and there, or some trees, or whatever it may be, right? Just to try to, pull it together a little bit more, so it's not just such a scattered mess of me just dropping stuff everywhere. I still want it to look like a farm, if that makes sense. Kind of how we did here, add in these fence areas here just to kind of break up the details a little bit. Goes a long way. So we're going to try to continue that, even though, it's going to take a little bit of the money away from the actual competitive portion of the series, right? If I'm just trying to save all the money I possibly can, right? But that's okay. I'm okay with that. It's not that big of a deal to me, at least. I'm happy to do that just to make things look a little bit better. So, but we're all going about it a different way, right? So you're definitely going to want to watch every single person's video, and links to both of their channels will be in the description, as I always do, whenever that series starts. So, if you haven't, for whatever reason, which I would assume that if you're watching my channel most of the time, you probably watch one of the two of them, or have at least watched them at some point in the past, make sure you give them some love when that series does come out. Alright, enough about the competitive one-tile challenge. We're just super excited about it, that's why I keep bringing it up. Let's get mowing here. We're cruising along, man. So we got $76,000 in the bank. This is a series, I've mentioned this before, but in case you missed it, we have kind of made an agreed choice, and I say agreed choice, and it was by asking all of you what you wanted me to do. But we have made an agreed choice to end this series as a working farm. Rather, we're not going to be selling off everything that we've put down. We're going to kind of keep it as it is, which I think makes a lot of sense. It's not really like a challenge or anything like that, right? And sometimes I do a challenge and I don't, set everything off, right? But for this one, we're just going to keep it. The end is going to be this is a active working farm that will continue on in your imagination, if you will. And yeah, so we're going to run it that way. So whenever the series is done, we will just kind of leave it at that point, put everything away and leave it at that point, versus going through and selling every single thing off we put down or did to see what the total amount is. Sometimes we do that, sometimes we don't. We're not going to be doing it this time, and I do agree. I think it makes sense to keep this as a working type of farm situation. A couple other people have recently been kind of commenting on the triple threat challenge. We haven't done that in a while, and yeah, I need to get that temple done. It is just a daunting task, and I continue to add to it slowly but surely. But it is just taking much longer than I expected. Honestly, if we were going to run that series again, I would not have given myself that challenge. And I do think we will do another iteration of that triple threat challenge in the near future. I don't know when, but sometime in the near future. And utilize a couple of things that I learned along the way there, because I do think that is a good challenge that I made up. I think it has a lot of potential to be a very, very successful one, and one that can kind of grow to the point where a lot of people are interested in it. So, I've learned some things along the way there of that challenge specifically. So, when we do a second version of it, a second series, whatever, season 2, whatever you want to call it, we'll be kind of incorporating some of those things I learned and try to make it a little bit better, so we don't have the situation that we have ourselves in now, where the temple is just going to take 45 episodes by itself. It's just absolutely insane how long it's taking to do that temple, and I truly believe it would have taken 45 to 50 episodes just alone to do the temple. It's insane, if not longer. It's absolutely insane. Alright, so the mowing is done. So now we need to do the baling. And we need to look at some kind of small mower for the grapes if we're going to do that. I don't necessarily have to, but in theory I probably should be doing that. So we'll look into that today, because that's something else we can add to our list to do, and probably should be done, right? I'm also probably going to put, I think, a bit of a barrier here, kind of like that fence barrier we did over here on this field here. I've talked about it a number of times, and then I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it or not. I think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to make sure I give enough room. Hopefully it doesn't look too weird, but I think I'm going to do that and hopefully give myself the room that I need, and it won't be a problem when we come to try to harvest. But we'll see, right? We'll see. Might do that today. So we gotta get this all mowed up, and then we're gonna run around and get the water taken care of, and the greenhouses, and for the goats. Probably move the honey over, like I mentioned. So we've got a couple things to do here, so let's get to work. Let's get those done, and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, that's all done. I'm going to add the fence line I was talking about here on the edge, and probably add a little grass with it as well, although, excuse me, I may not go the full distance into this field, because I don't necessarily want to lose any of that. It might be alright, though. I think there's plenty of room here if I just, give myself a little bit of space here. I mean, this might be too much, but you know what? Let's go with it. We can always shrink it later with, you know, putting down some more gravel, right? Alright, that should work. That should do the trick. Let me find my little gravel here and just do a little bit of touch-up work, as I mentioned. I'm actually going to clean this up even more. I'm going to make this like our little entry point, if you will. And I guess we can do the same thing here and just add a little more to it, if you will. That'll work. That'll work. Alright, so let's put some grass in. Like I said, I don't think I need this entire area here of grass, but if I can go, I don't know, something like that, possibly. Yeah. I think that's probably sufficient. Is that giving me enough room, though? I don't know. Actually, I might want to use this whole thing up now that I think about it. I think we're going to. Yeah, I think we probably should use the entirety of it, because we're going to need a little bit more space here, I think. Alright, I'm hoping that'll work. If it doesn't, I mean, I guess we can always modify it later. It's not like it's, I mean, it's expensive when they put the fence down, but it's not like it's super expensive in comparison to, you know, nowadays. I think we have plenty of money coming in. Might look a little weird because I'm going to put the fence kind of up against the edge of this grass line here, so maybe it would look a little weird. Maybe we should extend the grass a little more. Let's just see. Let's just see what we come up with here. Is it this one? Looks like it to me. Yep, it's that one. Okay. So, I'm going to actually go, I think, here. And then all the way down, if it'll let me. Yeah, see, it's only going to let me go to there, which I guess that's fine. You know what? We're going to shrink this down a little more, I think. I think I'm not going to start it till here. Let's see, how does this look? I don't think that's right. I think that's too close. Getting a little nitpicky here. This is not really what I was hoping to do, but you know, I want it to be, I want it to look good though, you know? Alright. And I don't like the way this looks, so we're going to change this a bit. And you're going to get like some of this kind of approach a little bit from the competitive one-tile challenge to an extent. Obviously, you know, only when we have the time to do it, and I'm not going to spend a ton of money, certainly. I went a little bit too far there, but I'm not going to spend a ton of time. I think that'll work. I think that will work. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now, I had thought about it quite a few times, putting a tiny one right here. I just don't know how it would look. I guess we can just kind of give it a shot right now and just see. Like a two-pegger here, if you will. I'll maybe move it over here a little bit further. Just to try to make sure it's, you know. Yeah, I think something like that. I think I'm going to do it. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay. All right, so enough of that. Let's see if we can find a mower here that makes sense for the grapes, if you will. So there's your sprayer. There's your mulcher. None of these really... none of these really fit, you know, the series, if you will. I mean, that looks way too new. I mean, we've been stretching it a little bit anyway. I mean, this one to me looks a little bit older than that, but I mean, we're kind of stretching it already as it is to an extent, right? That looks even newer, I would almost say. I guess it looks identical, really. Just the color makes it look newer. You know what? We're not going to do it. We're not going to do it. We're going to leave it. We're not going to do it. All right, so there's a few other things we could potentially do today. We've talked about it. I don't remember. I'm probably I think it's November now. You know, again, this should be in my head by now. It is November. However, the price is not terrible right now for the eggs. I mean, we're only 200 off what the best price would be. A little more than that, but pretty much 200 off. I think we're going to sell them. I think we're going to sell them. Yeah, let's get rid of the eggs. They've been sitting there for a while. I can also look at the goat cheese while we're at it. Although I suspect it's probably not that great anymore. I mean, it isn't, but it is. Ooh, you know what we didn't check? Do we have... I forgot I had the John Deere over here, by the way. In the time lapse, I figured that out. Yeah, I guess we should move some of this goat milk over there. I mean, it's not a ton, but, you know, it'll still make us some more money. I think we wait till September at a bare minimum. I mean, September is close to being the average best, and like I said, I'm not sure if we're going to go to the extent of the entire series till December, because those winter months is going to be very far and few things for us to do. Yeah, let's sell the eggs. Let's sell the eggs. That's going to produce a lot of money for us. Let's sell those eggs. So we're going to get all those stacked up here, and there's quite a number of them, so it is going to take a minute. Although I did relatively, I say that now when you look at it, you're like, that's not very good, Z. I was going to say, I did a relatively decent job of stacking them up before. But anyway. I'm going to get them stacked up. You see me do this, and you know sometimes I'm not the best at it. Sometimes it's like butter. It just goes right on top, no problem, without any issues. And then other times I keep dropping them everywhere. So I'm just going to do this off camera. All right, well, it hasn't been too bad. It's not the best stacking job in the world, but it hasn't been too bad. I've definitely done worse. Recently I did worse. I guess I shouldn't say anything because they're not all the way up here on the trailer yet, but... My problem is normally I'm just trying to go too quickly with the stacking, right? I think that's my problem normally. I'm just going way too fast. I just need to slow it down a little bit and... Look at that. That's the best stacking job I've ever done. Completely different person all of a sudden. Alright, we're just going to leave this here for right now. And we're going to head on up and sell these things. This should make us good money here. These eggs. So we're going to our favorite place. The place we could go to probably more than anywhere else besides the construction site. And that, it's a bit of a drive. So let's head on over there. And we'll see what kind of money we get. Well, we can rack that up to OBS not starting the recording again. I made about 30 grand. As you can see, we're over $100,000 now. So I apologize for that. You didn't get to see them actually sell, but it was about 30 grand. That was made from those eggs, about 2,000, a little over 2,000 per pallet. So pretty nice little payday there. But with that, we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I would appreciate if you smash the like and subscribe button on the case you have yet to do so. If you have any thoughts, questions, comments, ideas, let me know down below. I'm happy to get back to you on those. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. There's a link down below if you're interested in that. Early access to videos like this one, among numerous other perks. Discord's down there. My other channel's down there. Everything you need, as always, it's down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your continued support. Hopefully you're excited for that new one-tile challenge series coming out this Saturday. It's going to be a good one. Thanks for watching. See you next time.